The reactions to the death of Nigerian musician Mohbad was far-flung and widespread, like a snowball into an avalanche. From Lagos and other states, including Osun, Oyo, Ekiti, and even outside the country, with consternation and consensus over calls to determine the true circumstances surrounding his untimely demise. That's our focus on Special Report. In Rivers State, some Port Harcourt residents defied an alleged news of cancellation of the planned procession candlelight to honor the late Nigerian singer Mohbad by the Rivers State Police Command and hit the streets notwithstanding. One of the organizers expressed disappointment as, according to him, due process was applied, adding that the said cancellation directive was surprising.
We want to honor him, give him our last respect. So we wrote to him. They received the letter, stamped it and everything. So yesterday, the commissioner of police called that I should come to the office. I went there with Edis Wamba, the boss of Edis Wamba. And the next thing he said was, we shouldn't hold it. That we shouldn't do any procession on the street. So we had to shift it and say, okay, since we won't disturb the public peace, let's go into GRA, go to a confined space at Edis Wamba and hold it. So we've done a press statement, all right? We did the press statement and we sent out a new graphic design. I heard that DSS are in Edis Wamba telling us that we shouldn't gather at all. And most of the persons here didn't get the information that it has been postponed, but we are not walking on the street. We will just stay in a space, on our candle and give him our last respect and have a tribute concert. That was all we planned to do.
Some persons present at the Pleasure Park Convergence Point said they would go along with the procession in spite of the alleged cancellation.
We are not doing the cancellation thing. No, as long as we are all here for Imole, we will do it. It's a peaceful walk. It's not a protest. It's just a peaceful walk. Then we'll do the candle night. Then we all go home. Nothing else. We are not.
Okay, we are all gathered here for Mohbad because we want justice for our brother. If you've gone through pain, you understand what it is and what it feels like to be outside here for someone.
We really want justice for Mohbad here in Port Harcourt, but I don't understand what is going on. Like, it's not funny. I feel so bad.
The Rivers State Police Public Relations Officer explained that they did not follow due process, but said the police were monitoring them to ensure that it's done peacefully. The alleged cancellation news affected the number of participants, as many of them were seen leaving the venue with just a few in the crowd left. The 27-year-old Mohbad died in Lagos under controversial circumstances. Since his demise, Nigerians have been calling for a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding his demise. Celebrities and young people gathered at the Unity Fountain in Abuja to call on the federal government to ensure that the late singer Mohbad gets justice.
God, they do dark things. All you do in your mind,
They held a candlelight procession and concert at the popular spot in the heart of the nation's capital. According to them, they believe that justice will be served on those responsible for the death of the late singer, who died on September the 12th, 2023.
The significance of today is love, is unity, is oneness, and is justice. A young light that his light was dimmed untimely. Today is a demonstration of our love for Imale. Today is our demonstration of love for Mohbad. We would love to tell Nigerians that sometimes an autopsy can just take 24 hours. Now the results of the autopsy is what can take maybe 3 to 5 or 6 weeks. But we are waiting and we are hoping that the Nigerian police don't do us that.
And some aggrieved youth also staged a peaceful protest against the death of the Nigerian musician Mohbad in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. The protesters, clad in black attire, converged at the Nelson Mandela Freedom Park in the city, where they also held a candlelight procession. They demanded justice for the late singer, calling on the government and security agencies to fish out those who killed the late musician and make them face the wrath of the law if that was the case.
We need a country where we can walk, and we can breathe peacefully. We don't want them to suffocate the youth. Let the youth breathe. We want to feel it. We want to be in our country like our own. We don't want to be in our country like a stranger. This is our advice for the government. Please, we demand justice for the killers of Aloba Promise Mohbad. Let them bring the killers to justice. Let them bring them. Let us see that the law takes its full course.
I know most people that are here, we are not really his full fan, but because this guy have actually been complaining since I think last year or so, and nobody stood up for him, that's why it is really touching the youth, because his death is really painful. We need justice for him. We need to know. We know that death is not natural. We know it is not natural.
And in other parts of the country, as the justice for Mohbad continued to spread, in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, protesters also joined in the fray. Wearing black outfits to depict their mourning, the protesters walked through major roads of the metropolis asking for justice with placards and various inscriptions.
It's a young and a rising star that his life was cut short. That's like a very prime stage when he was actually hitting the spotlight. And you know, there's something about Nigerian, like we do things and then at the end of the day we think we can go scot-free, whatever we do. But at least for what is going on at the moment now, people are tired for all of that. People are calling for a change. People are tired. People are calling for justice. Like you don't do things and go scot-free. It doesn't work that way again. So that is why we are here.
Youth in Ekiti State thronged the streets of Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, to protest the death of the young singer. The youth in their thousands displayed placards and donned black outfits to identify with the mass movement to demand justice for Mohbad, who hails from Ikere-Ekiti. The peaceful walk started from the Exu road axis of Ado-Ekiti, terminating at the popular Faji Park. They described the death of the 27-year-old musician as mysterious.
Mohbad must get justice, and we really need it, justice for Mohbad, and that's the main reason why we are here too, and for the peaceful rally for Mohbad. Mohbad is from Ekiti State, and we are here for the peaceful rally and to ensure that federal government give us that justice.
This guy deserves it. This guy, it is not about this thing. He might not close when he was alive, but at the same time, he was an entertainer when he was alive, and his name will never be erased in the record of entertainment in Nigeria. So whatever we are doing today, even we are doing it for ourselves because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, because these evil people, they are full in the industry, not only the music industry alone. But I just know one thing, there's no way they want to run to. But I just want to beg government that they should do the needful, whatever they want to do.
These are youths, these are entertainers, these are active Nigerians that they are out here to pour out their pains, to mourn our dear brother, our dear entertainer, Mohbad, that we could boldly say that it was not yet its time, but he was being killed. So we're here to like justice for him.
As you can see, a lot of people are outside, a lot of people are here to mourn a young man, a young lad that was actually trying to struggle out his way to limelight. He's actually a musician, and for some of us, we don't even listen to these songs. But the moment we saw the post of this young man the kind of things that went on before his death, it's actually something to reckon with. So it actually captured our heart. Like for days now, all we have been clamoring for is how young people who are also in the same situation. It's not just about Mohbad. This revolution you are seeing is not just about that young boy. Because there are certain people that are in such kind of frustration, but they cannot cry out, they cannot speak out, and nobody's even willing to listen. If you see video of this young man, he cried out in several videos, but nobody was paying attention. Nigeria, when you come online, you say anything, people tends to make caricature of it. So we are out here to say that we recognize that a young boy that actually God have destined. This guy is phenomenal, because how can one person be dead somewhere and everywhere in the whole country you see people clamoring for justice? Something is extraordinary about it. And that's, I just closed from work and I decided to be here. I said I must be here. So many people were surprised. There's some, they were, he's here, like, because they know. But this is something that we just have to do, regardless of religion, regardless of our belief system. This is not just about secular musician. This one is a blood, and every human being matters to God. So that is why we are here.
Meanwhile, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency refused to comment on the demise of Mohbad and their alleged complicity. The agency spokesman, Mr. Femi Babafemi, explains that the matter is under investigation by the police.
Mohbad has been taken care of in a post that we shared weekend.
Since there's a post already, then a soundbite wouldn't be an issue, would it?
We don't want to be dragged into it. Since the police is already investigating, let's not preempt the police. Please, let's not preempt what the police is doing.
The law firm of Fallon and Fallon Chambers requested then a coroner's inquest into the death of the late Nigerian singer, Mohbad. In a letter dated September 18, 2023, and addressed to the Chief Coroner of the High Court of Lagos State, Justice Mojisola Dada, the firm described the singer's death as very tragic and noted that it happened under mysterious circumstances. Mrs. Falakemi Falana, who signed the letter on behalf of the firm, urged the Chief Coroner to cause an inquest to be conducted to unravel the circumstances surrounding the tragic death. Given the needless death of Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, we are compelled to request you to use your good offices to cause a coroner's inquest to be conducted into the cause of death of this young, promising musician and make appropriate recommendations pursuant to Section 15 of the Lagos State Coroner's Law 2007, which provides that an inquest shall hold whenever a coroner is informed that the death of a deceased person within his coroner district is as a result of a death in a violent, unnatural, or suspicious situation. We hereby request your Lordship to conduct an inquest into the circumstances surrounding this tragic death in Lagos State, and we are confident that your Lordship will accede to our request with utmost urgency. The Lagos State government also noted the developments that have followed the death of Mohbad. The government commiserates with his family and fans. In their words, "We feel the pain of losing such a talented and promising young man who made a name for himself in a highly competitive industry. May the Almighty grant his soul rest and comfort his bereaved family and fans." Following Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's directive, the police in Lagos State have launched a major investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of the young star. A 19-man police panel has been asked to unravel the mystery behind the musician's death. Further to this, and to boost the investigation, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu invited the Department of State Services to join the investigation and widen the dragnet with interagency collaboration and use of best-in-class technology to unearth the truth. Mr. Sanwo-Olu directed that all those who may have played any role whatsoever in any event leading to the death of Mohbad be made to face the law after a thorough investigation. Consequently, the DSS, Department of State Services, also joined the investigation so as to get justice for the youngster, his family, and fans. The government pleads with all those who may have vital information that may assist the investigation process to avail the investigating team of the same. The government also appealed to the investigating team to guarantee the confidentiality and protection of all witnesses who may come forward with vital information or indicative evidence that may assist the process. The Lagos State government appealed to all friends and fans of the deceased to stay calm and refrain from making inflammatory utterances and reaching prejudicial conclusions on the matter, saying that staying calm and following the process will be their most solemn tribute to the memory of the departed talent. Besides, the grieving family should be allowed to mourn their loss in peace at a difficult time for the government, the family, and Mohbad's fans. and that any action that can aggravate the grief should be avoided.
Everybody, come on! Without you, my friend. Sing! And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way. Sing! From where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, this is Light. We are representing Imole right here.
You said Mohbad music has been a very positive influence because all his music, all his lyrics, it's about the story of his life. It's about the struggles of an everyday youth.
All I just want to say is we love you, Mohbad, and we seek justice, and justice must be served.
The police and the DSS were also admonished to brief the public on their efforts periodically. Sam Clef is a contemporary Afrobeat music producer and artist. He joins us from the United States. Sam Clef, thank you for joining us. Tell us how you felt when you heard about the death of Mohbad and the circumstances surrounding his demise.
When I heard the news, first of all, I felt sad because I was like, damn, this guy just died. So, then I heard some news about him having an infection on his head. He died of infection. Then I became curious about that. Then I started questioning his death because I know there was a time, he posted a video of a threat and where he was being beaten that I put it on my page, whereby, Naramali came on live and debunked it and said maybe he was on drugs. So I was like, why would the record label come and do a damage control on your own artist? So when I heard I was dead, I felt like there was something suspicious about this guy, that this is not an honored death. So if he's going for a show, he gets death threats from people. So he's been bullied all through. And guess what? The day he got his visa, that was the day he died. So there are so many questions, so many puzzles. And what even got me struck was how the father was quick to go and rush to bury him, despite the fact that you know that your child is a star. Even though you're not going to go for, like they say, okay, in the tradition, the father is not supposed to be there when they're burying their child. What about the friends? So I started feeling like, oh, something is wrong here. There's a loophole about this death here. It's that they're trying to cover something up. And another thing I noticed also that Naramali was not in the country, Sam Larry was not in the country, none of these people were in the country. So it became so suspicious. And even when they now post the video of the wife of him, I felt like, no, this is also manipulation. Who released that video? So there's so many loopholes. So I felt curious and I felt like, no, this is an homicide case, and I mean, this case needs to be solved. We're not going to allow the people behind this to go scot-free. So we decided to use our diaspora power, and we started getting results. So what we are waiting for right now, we want to see if the Nigerian police is going to work.
Well, where we are right now, obviously, as you've heard, is the Lagos state government has been very vocal about this matter. The police are investigating it. An autopsy has been conducted. We're waiting for the release of the result of the autopsy. Everyone hates failure, but success comes with its own set of problems. The Nigerian music industry can be said at this point to be successful, with Nigerian musicians winning awards across the world and making headway in this regard. Is this, maybe you see, symptomatic of the success that comes with the music industry and the Nigerian music industry in particular?
The Nigerian music industry is the only industry that has been able to put Nigeria on the map positively, but there are some loopholes back home because the industry was ruled by individualism in the sense that there was no structure, so everybody built their own empire. So there is nobody protecting anybody, there is no agency. So what we are seeing right now is that our foundation, there is no structure in our home. So I think the death of Mohbad is exposing all darkness on, not just in the music industry for the first time. A lot of artists have been a record label. Once you leave the record label because you don't have the connection with the radio and the DJs, you're gonna struggle. I faced the same thing in the industry for 11 years. So me and Mohbad case is similar. The difference between me and Mohbad is that I ran away from everybody, just like Joseph. But Mohbad was still in the midst of his enemies. He wrote a code in his body called light, Imole. You know, there are some things we don't say in the natural world, but there are some deeper things that people like us that we know. His death is not a coincidence. He died on the 12th day of the 9th month. So the 12th represents the circle of life, while the 9th is when a woman delivers a child. That's a month of reincarnation. So it's more of a, that's why if you notice now, everybody in the world are fighting for it, because they didn't know it was a light. So he was a Messiah, he was a prophet, and the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. So it was a light. So the reason why the old thing right now, the old world is shaking, is because we have a new meat, and this time it's coming from Nigeria and Africa. Belash Moda was the one that opened our eyes, because Belash Moda was able to do an interview and let us know that this guy is suffering, because there was a day the guy came to cry. See, I cried. There was a time I called out some people in the industry. What did they say? Since 2011, 12, they said my career was dead. So there's some certain people there, they are friends in the industry. So they only play their own friends' music. So if you're not in their clique, they will X you. They will blacklist you. So I was blacklisted in the industry. I'm one of the pioneers and the founding father of the new Afrobeat sound. I and Wizkid created that sound. But guess what they did to me? They cut me off because they own the media. They changed the narrative. They didn't know that I had bigger plans. So what did I do? I created my own platform, and it's through my platform today that you guys are now hearing about the Mohbad case. I was the one that stirred the fire in the case.
Family, his friends, and his fans are seeking closure or waiting for the release of the autopsy results. What in your view has been your estimation of the support from all over the world, across Nigeria, and even in America where you are, for the circumstances behind his death to be unraveled?
To be honest, this is history in the making. This is another Tupac in the making. But this time around, it's happening in Nigeria, and the love everybody's showing to this amazing talent is so beautiful. I'm not even mourning now. I'm celebrating him because he's a light bearer. On Thursday, we're going to be doing our own candlelight for him on Thursday in Maryland and Laurel. And everywhere, there's a video I saw of people in Ghana doing the same thing. It's amazing, like seeing all this guy uniting all tribes together. You know, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, all tribes coming together. People that didn't even know him, because people want to see if Nigerian police are going to work. So the reason why, you know, a lot of people have been going on my timeline, they want to see if we're going to release statements. We decided to cooperate with the police this time around because we want to see if they're going to work with us. Because they told us, oh, we should chill, they're going to give us reports. So we have to hold on into information, even though we know what is going on, till they do their own part. But even though they don't do their own part, we've already done our own part. So this is what I'm going to tell the governors too, if he's watching this. Please use your immigration and let them send message to all the flights that Sami Larry and Naira Marley are flight risk. They are wanted for questioning. We've not said they killed, we didn't say they did that, but they need to come for questioning. Let us know if they are still in this country hiding, or if they are in another country. If they're in another country, let us send a letter to the embassy. It's very simple. Let them bring them out, because the world now are waiting. Fine, we've raised money for the kids. I've raised, like, by God's grace, I don't know, the money might be up to, like, I don't know, by Monday I'll be sure, but the last money raised was up to 30 million naira for the son. The family doesn't have access to their account other than the wife, but we're just making sure that once everything is done, we'll now know with the lawyer and the manager, we'll know exactly how to put everything in place. But as we speak right now, the world is waiting for Nigerian police. They want to see justice. If the common man can get justice, Tinubu needs to prove to us that if this is the beginning of a renewal, if it is the beginning of from Saul to Paul, that is the message, sir.
We do hope and pray that justice is served. Thank you for joining us, Sam Clef, and we wish you the best in your career.
Thank you, sir. God bless you too. Thank you, sir.
The release of the autopsy conducted will determine the next line of action of law enforcement authorities before definitive closure can be brought to the incident. For Special Report, I'm Olumide Macaulay.